If you haven't watched part number 1 of my top 10 tips for a triathlon swim, we'll click the link in the description below. We're going to start with tip number 6. This is going to be on the entry into the water. Now, depending on the type of start that you have for your triathlon swim, don't try and act like a pro doing all the dolphin dives in through the water. By doing so, yes, unless you're gunning for a top 10 position, you really have not much to gain, but you have a hell of a lot that you could lose. Number 1 is it can be really dangerous. You probably are not going to be aware of what's beneath the water, so don't go diving headfirst and hit your head on the bottom, because that can have super serious consequences. I've gone and dived in at the beginning of a triathlon swim and my goggles have come off. I've then had to spend half a minute fixing them back on. Take it slow, wade into the water. You really are not going to gain that much. Tip number 7, if you may have heard, you can draft in swimming, with the swimmer in front helping tow you along, meaning you have to put less effort into the swim. Now, this is something that's great for the pros, so you know that everybody knows where they're going, and you have to know who you're drafting and what their pace is normally like. If you're an age grouper, you'll most likely be drafting a complete stranger. Now, you don't know if they've studied the course, like I mentioned in part 1, and they may take you way off course. Also, you don't know their relative pace to yours. So you may end up drafting them, but they may swim a lot slower than you would normally. Therefore, you're going to have a slower time overall. Tip number 8 is linked to tip number 7, and that is be really careful if you are coming up behind people. Often I've had it where I'm swimming close to somebody in front of me, and then they've got a little bit confused or wanted to take the quick break, done a breaststroke leg kick, and kicked me straight in the face. That's the last thing you want during a triathlon swim. So do keep your distance. Tip number 9 is to do with the goggles you wear. Now, if you're somewhere like I am today and it's blazing sunshine, a pair of polarized or photochromatic goggles will help you in sunny conditions. Then my final tip is, especially during a triathlon, and especially if you are doing something like an Ironman, save your legs. In your legs, you have the largest muscles in your body. The benefit you get from kicking a lot isn't worth the extra energy you use. When you're swimming in a wetsuit, it will give you extra buoyancy in your legs, so you don't need to kick to keep them in a streamlined position. And just by doing what's called a 2-beat kick, you will get enough propulsion during your swim. So practice swimming with a minimal kick. You're going to want to save your legs for the bike and the run later on. When you're coming into the final few hundred meters, that's when you want to start kicking a little bit more, just to get some blood moving in your legs, so you don't come out of the water and fall flat on your face. I have a bonus tip for you. I always say race day is a celebration of your training. Go out there and enjoy it. It's meant to be fun. This is why you're doing it. There's no more training you can do, so get out there, enjoy it, chat to other competitors when you're on the bike, chat to them in transition. I always remember I had a bit of a laugh in T2 during my first Ironman, where I sat down, there was a guy next to me, and I turned around to him and said, "How far do we have to run again?" The look on his face was hilarious. I then just burst into laughter. So really get out there, enjoy it, have a little bit of a laugh. It is a celebration of all that hard work. And if you've got any questions you want for our top tips for a triathlon, or specifically the triathlon swim, pop them in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and until next time, happy, but more importantly, safe swimming.